Welcome, welcome. I'm Coach Natalie, and today I'm going to be going over how to have great form on your pull-throughs on Tonal. We're starting with the bar attachment because it is a great tool to help you keep a flat, neutral spine. Connect it with your tailbone, your shoulder blades, and your head. You're going to reach your hips back behind you with soft knees until you feel tension or a stretch in your hamstrings, and then you stand back up straight. Having the bar attachment connected with your posterior chain lets you know if anything funky is happening, like is your tailbone disconnected, maybe your back is rounded, is your head coming off, maybe it's reaching forward, are your shoulder blades off of it, maybe you're arching your upper back too much. Gives you all kinds of great feedback, isn't that nice? All right, one more. We reach forward with a flat back and we come back to a standing position. If the pull through is really challenging to you, always come back to this, it'll help you out. Now let's actually get onto the rope attachment with Tonal and see a pull through from the sideways angle. So I set up shoulders down and back. My rope is locked in place here. I'm gonna reach my hips back, again, feeling tension or a stretch in my hamstring, and when I do, I come back to the standing position. I have a soft bend in my knees, they're never locked out. And as I lower, the rope is sliding down my legs a little bit, but it never disengages and pulls my shoulders forward like that. It's just sliding down because my arms are staying in place right where they are. A couple of things that I don't want to see you doing during your pull-throughs. When you come up, arching your back, pushing your hips super far forward to get the most out of your glutes. Don't do it. When you get into this position, that is how you get some back pain the next day. And also, pushing your hip that far forward, not a bad thing in general, but if you're doing it often and you're doing it under load, it can push the femur, your leg bone, into a not so great position into your hip joint, and eventually it might cause an injury. In fact, I had an injury there, not from doing pull-throughs, but from doing some exercises where I was constantly pushing that femur too far forward in my hip joint. Let's take a look at this from the front. I have one other tip that might be helpful to you. It's not my favorite tip for me, but it works for a lot of the clients that I train. And I call it screwing your feet in. So you stand feet hip distance apart, toes are straight forward, and then I'm gonna imagine that I'm externally rotating my feet into the floor. I'm screwing them into the floor. Nothing actually moves. It's just, I'm imagining that, and then suddenly my hips and my butt are in a beautiful position. Okay, so we're gonna try that on this one. Walk it out, hinge forward, soft knees, hips reach behind you, feet are screwed in, and then come up. Do a couple of those, see if that works for you, if you feel more glute and hamstring engagement. Hamstring engagement. The last thing, the difference between good pain and bad pain, very important. If you wake up the next morning and you feel like your back is a little sore, your glutes, your hamstrings a little bit sore, especially if this move is new to you, that's okay. All those muscles are communicating with each other. They're working together on this exercise. If you wake up the next morning or maybe later that afternoon, you stand up from your chair and you notice, I can't twist, I can't bend over to tie my shoes, I can't arch back, and you're kind of walking like this, that's not good. That's not what we want. That means you put a little too much effort into your back on these. You can always return back to using your bar attachment, doing glute bridges on the floor to practice what glute engagement feels like, or even a single leg elevated bridge is great to feel what hamstrings should feel like in a slightly safer environment than having your load with the pull through. All right, I'm Coach Natalie. If you have any questions, let me know.